Yes, our own Janice Dean from Fox News is joining us now via phone. Janice, you have been at the forefront of another Cuomo scandal, losing both of your in-laws. I can't imagine. I've seen your pain. I've seen your tears. They, of course, were a part of the nursing home scandal. How do you feel today watching what you just saw?
I've always said I don't care what brings them down. And to these strong women today, I stand with you. I'm holding your hand in unity. Brave, brave women that came forward. It just shows you the power and abuse that this man thought he had. And he's been doing it for years now. And I've been fighting for justice for my in-laws since May of last year, when we found out he was putting COVID-positive patients into nursing homes, and then he covered up the numbers for months and months to sell a $5.1 million book to celebrate himself in the middle of a pandemic. So there's not only the sexual assault and harassment charges, but we're still waiting for justice when it comes to over 15,000 seniors that died in nursing homes. I think in part to his March 25th order to put infected patients into nursing homes. And not only that, we have, the COVID test, the VIP COVID test that he was giving to his brother and his families, while nursing homes could not get any to test incoming patients. There are state resources that he used for that $5.1 million book, and so many other scandals that plague this governor. But today, I embrace, I salute, I thank the Lord for these women that were brave enough to tell their stories and show what a monster this man is.
Yeah, and that monster, I remember being in the Trump White House every day. We were compared to the great Governor Andrew Cuomo, who was holding those press conferences while you said you're making this horrible decision in the background on nursing homes. He tried to deflect blame to the former president on that one. But Janice, we saw some form of accountability today. Do you think we will see the governor step down, move aside from his position?
I don't think so. I think he's going to be steadfast. I think it's up to Carl Heastie and the Assembly in Albany to get their impeachment in line. They have enough to impeach this governor. They've had enough for weeks, and they continue to stonewall. Now is the time to get the impeachment going, and we need those lawmakers to stand up. They have been stonewalling. They have been weak, and they've been waiting to really find out, I think, from the Attorney General to see how damning this report was going to be. Well, you've got your proof. Now's the time to put it in writing.
That's right. And do you think we'll see a national pressure from Democrats? Like, Kirsten Gillibrand comes to mind. She led the charge against Al Franken. She's been pretty silent on this, not demanding the resignation of Andrew Cuomo. Biden, however, has done the opposite, saying he must step down. Do you think that national pressure, you've been around these state lawmakers, can come down and kind of push their hand, force their hand to call for and vote for impeachment?
Schumer and Gillibrand need to stand up today. I know that they months ago, when this first started to become, frontline page in the newspaper, they did stand up and say if these accusations are real, then the governor should resign. Well, I think they need to do that today and make sure the impeachment process is underway. We need to do it. And I think, listen, I want justice for my in-laws, right? I want justice for those 15,000 that aren't able to testify. But if this is easier to digest for Democrats to get rid of this guy, I am all for it.
Yeah, can you update our viewers a little bit on the status of justice for those 15,000 seniors, investigations? Update us where that stands, and parallel to this other very egregious findings here from the New York Attorney General.
Well, the Attorney General said there are multiple investigations into this governor, and the nursing home issue is one of them. The fact that he covered up the over 15,000 that died. Why did he do that? The book, of course, I think the timeline shows that he covered up the numbers to sell his $5.1 million book. So those investigations are still ongoing. Today was just one piece of that, and that was to give the women their day to say that we're not going to take this anymore. You broke your own law, Governor, and you need to pay for it.
Emily, I think you have a question for Janice. Hop in here.
Thank you so much. Janice, it's Emily. I wanted to ask you about the findings in the AG report of retaliation by the administration against these women who came forward. And you experienced a taste of that when you used your platform and your strength to speak up about your family situation and the egregious nature of the administration's handling of the nursing home, the COVID deaths. So I wanted you to get your thoughts on those allegations and now conclusions of retaliation by this administration that you experienced as well.
I believe it 1,000%. I experienced it on a smaller level, you know, from his one of his top aides that said, "Oh, she's not she doesn't know anything except the weather." I mean, you know, come up with something a little bit more original, Rich, as a party. But I also heard from other people saying that you go against this guy and you're going to have a mark next to you and to watch your back. Those are the types of things that I was hearing when I was starting to tell my family's story. And I just had to put those aside. I believe those women were demeaned. I believe that his aides were calling employers and friends to find out dirt on these women. I believe that Chris Cuomo over at CNN did the very same thing. He should be looked at as well as somebody who gave advice to his brother and the administration on CNN time. We need to look into that as well.
Does this reassure you at all? Are we one step in the right direction for all the pain that these New York families have suffered, yours included? Do you see this as sort of a reassuring sign, or are you still not holding your breath in terms of the full scope of the accountability the governor should and could face?
I hope, you know, we're on the side of the angels, and I believe there are angels here on earth, and I believe angels in heaven are helping us with this investigation. Today was a big day, and I thank the Attorney General Letitia James for, you know, her investigation into this governor. I mean, she's a Democrat, and she was helped be elected by Governor Cuomo. So for her to stand out there and stand with the women, I do hope we get some justice. We have to find out what were the origins of that order to put COVID-positive patients into nursing homes. I don't think it is getting the headlines it deserves. I think this should be a top story in New York State. We lost over 15,000 seniors, and he actively tried to cover it up.
Janice Dean, thank you for your thoughts today. You've been so emblematic as a happy warrior. You have been leading this crusade. You are the example of using your platform and using your voice. We are grateful for that, and our hearts go out to you for your family's loss as well.
Thank you, and I have to thank Fox News as well for letting me have this platform. So thank you.